story at the Mouseville Elementary School, where miceling minds are gently molded for a future of mature thought, of quiet contemplation and orderly... Well, anyway, today was Orphan Scrappy's first day at school.
Hey, you want to go catch some apples from Old Man Weasel's tree?
Nah, my mom's baking up a batch of cookies today.
Well, how about you? You want to go watch him scrape grease off the rags down at the car wash?
Sorry, kid, but my mom promised to take me to the zoo.
Well, I'll tell you this much. If I had a mom and a pop, those other kids wouldn't have nothing on me.
Hiya, little fella. My name's Pearl. What's yours?
Scrappy, what's it to you?
Just trying to make friends.
Well, thanks, lady, but I don't really need any. I've already got the best pal a guy could have, and his name just happens to be Mighty Mouse.
You don't say. But in that case, why so glum?
Well, I'm just a little worried that a guy like me, with no mom and dad, might not have a chance to turn out as swell as a guy like Mighty Mouse. See what I mean?
Not really. You know, Mighty Mouse was an orphan, too.
You mean it? Could you tell me more about it?
Well...
Please!
Okay. First of all, Mighty Mouse is not from here. He's from a strange and alien world 1,000 blocks from here, where they don't have nice little houses like we do.
Excuse me, but I believe the narration is my job, is it not?
Not this time it isn't. So just butt out, Buster. As I was saying, the mice in this other neighborhood don't live in cute little houses like we do. In fact, they don't have houses at all. They live in holes, in huge cavernous structures called buildings, which are also inhabited by humans. Perhaps the gravity is heavier in this alien neighborhood. Or maybe the very air is different. No one really knows why these other mice are so different. But one thing is certain, they must be mighty indeed to survive under such hostile conditions. And into these harsh conditions, a child was born of loving parents, Laraj and Aral. Will they believe you this time, my beloved Laraj?
If they do not, my beautiful Aral, then they are more than the shiftless fools living only for the moment. They are doomed.
At least we have made plans for our child.
All right, come on. Let's get the gloom and doom over with, huh?
But I tell you it is true. Our whole world soon will be destroyed.
You've been telling us the sky is falling for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, and the living's easy now that the giants have split the joint.
I tell you, this time I have irrefutable proof.
This building condemned?
And thus was Laraj proven right. Together he and Aral carried their beloved child to the escape vehicle carefully prepared for this very fateful moment, adding an ample supply of nourishing Limburger for the long journey's end. Oh, Laraj, I'll miss him so.
At least, dear Aral, he will survive. To grow up in a better neighborhood. Technology is a tool which may never be trusted. Bon voyage, my son. Travel well and age supreme.
All right, so you had a point.
Never fear, my dear. We can always find a new hole in the next building.
Meanwhile, the 1,000-block journey was long and dangerous, fraught with unknown and unknowable stresses. The baby mouseling held up just fine, but something extremely ominous apparently happened to the onboard provisions. But finally came the dawn, over a forest on the outskirts of Mouseville, where the fateful journey at last came to its end. The force of the crash split the tightly wrapped cellophane, spewing the altered Limburger in all directions. Limburgerite, henceforth Mighty Mouse's sole vulnerability. But, getting back to our story.
Land sakes, Pa! What caused that noise?
I don't rightly know, Ma, but there seems to be some sort of obstruction here.
What in tarnation is it?
Darned if I know, Ma. Looks to be some kind of newfangled flying contraption.
Can't be too newfangled if it only flies straight down. It's the child we never had.
Yep. Let's call the little tyke Mike.
And thus was the alien baby adopted by kindly Ma and Pa Squirrel.
Gosh, Pearl, that means Mighty Mouse really was an orphan, too.
Didn't I say you two shared a lot in common?
Yeah. Well, so come on, Pearl. Tell me more, huh?
Well, it wasn't long before the squirrels began to detect subtle differences in their adopted child.
There's something mighty strange about that tyke.
Mama! I think Paul just might have a point.
Yep, something mighty strange.
In the years which followed, the young mouse grew and grew and grew and grew.
It's finally happened, Ma. Our tree has gone plumb nutless.
Then, how will we ever make it through the winter, Paul?
Good question, Ma, especially with them crows being hungrier than us.
Here I come to save the day.
He may have saved our lives, Ma, but there's one thing we just gotta face. Our son is not a squirrel.
This is true, Paul. But then, just what is he?
Well, near as I can figure it, he's nothing less than a Mighty Mouse.
I'm glad you brought that up, Ma and Pa, because there's something I've been meaning to bring up. And believe me, I'm grateful for everything you've done for me, but...
Your Ma and I understand, son. You're feeling it's time to be moving on.
Why, yes, Pa, that's it exactly. And also, I feel a need to use my abilities for the good of all.
And with all them ruffians over to Cattown, no doubt they could use a fella like you in the big city.
That's it, Ma. I'll go to Mouseville.
Good idea, son. And if you'll just pluck me out of this here pile of plenty, I'll go stitch you a right fancy costume out of them blankets you came to us in.
And so was born Mighty Mouse, tireless champion of truth and justice, bane of bad cats, and hero of oppressed mice everywhere. A miracle of a mouse shaped from a childhood just as humble as yours, Scraps.
Gosh, Pearl. A story like that kind of makes a guy's eyes sweat. In fact, I'm so choked up and proud, I'm ready to burst. To think of a fellow orphan turning out as swell as Mighty Mouse. Golly, I wonder if he's even got a secret identity. And what it is.
No one knows, Scrappy. But whoever his secret identity is, you can bet he's an honest, hard-working guy.